Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you my awakening from sleeping on those that sleep. Cryptek Conclave came out, and I was more distracted by Pantheon of Woe. But during the recording, going over all the 500 Worlds things, there was a part where I didn't necessarily see immediate value. Not to say that I thought it was bad, but I couldn't, off the top of my head, think of what would it apply to. So I went to go see what that would be good on, and then I continued to see what things would be good in Cryptek Conclave. So we have this video. The thing that I at first didn't see immediate value for, if you're catching up on the 500 Royal stuff, Cryptek Conclave is the detachment that ranged weapons equipped by Cryptek models from your army get assault, and your shooting phase each time a Cryptek unit from your army is selected to shoot. You could get anti-infantry 3 up, anti-mounted 4 up, assault, heavy, ignores cover, pick one of them until the end of the phase. So, shooting detachment for Cryptek stuff. The thing that I was perplexed by, I guess, was synergistic empowerment. Start of your shooting phase, one Cryptek unit from your army. Select one friendly Necrons model within a foot of a Cryptek model in your unit until the end of the phase. That friendly Necrons model has the Cryptek keyword. So, my early morning brain was thinking, what is one model that you would want to put this on to give it assault and possibly, 3 up? I don't think I said that in video, but that's where the brain fog was. Um, but this is definitely for sharing the keyword with the rest of your unit, right? You put it on, oh, I don't know. Let's say you put this on a Locust Lord. So a Locust Lord then becomes a Cryptek and is leading maybe heavy destroyers, maybe even just destroyers, but Locust Lord becomes your Cryptek. And Destroyer Code, while this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack, a successful unmodified hit roll of a 5 up scores a critical hit. Man, they like that. Driven by hatred, each time this model makes an attack that targets an enemy unit that is below half strength, you can reroll the hit roll, and you can reroll the wound roll. Alright, this model, not necessarily the unit, but fine, we take that too. You when the war gear doesn't matter for this one right now. But basically, Locust Lord becomes a Cryptek and gives its heavy destroyer unit crits on 5s. And heavy destroyers have the Enigmatic Exterminator that has heavy, rapid fire 6, and sustained hits 1. 6 attacks per, hidden on 3s, strength 6, AP 1, damage 1. They also have optimized for slaughter. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack with an enigmatic exterminated that targets a unit that isn't a monster or vehicle, reroll, 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 reroll a wound roll of 1. My goodness, that was hard. And then if it's a Gauss Destructor for monsters and vehicles, same thing. Monster vehicles get Gauss Destructor, heavy, lethals, 48 inches, 1 attack each, hitting on 3 strength, 14, AP 4, damage 6. Now mind you only get 3 models. But with that, right? Well, you can only get up to 3 models, right, in the unit. Crits on 5s, heavy, rapid fire 6, sustain 1. That crits on 5s. Whoops. Don't know why I accidentally pressed that. Crits on 5s. Bring that back up. There we go. Thank you. And could have assault if you feel that the heavy, if you didn't do the heavy, you could do the assault, or anti-infantry 3 up. Anti-infantry 3 up. So, all of those shots, re-rolling wound rolls of 1 if, if you are using the right weapon for this job. The infantry are re-rolling wound rolls of 1. You have sustained hits 1 that you are critting on 5s. Yeah, you're going to lift the ever-loving shit out of whatever infantry unit you could be facing. Maybe that new Titus unit. Now, looking on the flip side with the Gauss Destructor that has lethal hits, it's, in my opinion less appealing. Oh, also, I guess I didn't put enough emphasis on the rapid fire 6. So if you're within 18 inches of the infantry unit, you're getting 6 more attacks, so 12 attacks, sustained hits 1. We understand. That is going to lift whatever fucking infantry unit you put in front of it. I kinda don't care what it is. It's getting popped by these heavy destroyers, like it was already, let's be honest. Um, but coming to the Ghost Destructor to give, some monsters and vehicles some problems, you give them ignores cover. Really, that's probably the best one to keep that AP4 sticking. They're a monster vehicle, so they'll probably have cover. It's also 10th edition, so they'll probably have cover. Give them that to get the cover going. So that's that. But I also did think about how you can chain untapped power into which, after something has become a Cryptek, so your Locust Lord has now become a Cryptek, you also can then use untapped power on it. So until the end of the phase, each time your unit is selected to shoot one select an ability, you can select one additional ability. So this means that you could do anti-infantry 3 up, ignores cover. You could do assault, ignores cover, for either of those options, and the unit should be lifting it. It should be lifting it. I think that's something that I definitely wasn't thinking of off the top of my head. I know I wasn't, so I wanted to circle back and talk about that. Now, Locust Destroyers, they just have lethal hits. It's AP2, damage 2. Lethal hits, usually, the thought by some. Well, how do I clear this up? So, usually, you might hear somebody say, oh, you don't want to go lethal hits when you have anti. But that's because most anti weapons used to have devastating wounds attached to them. Or I shouldn't say used to have, but that was kind of the thing there. So you didn't want to risk the devastating wounds part. But if you have lethal hits and anti, you just want the wounds to get through one way or another. So probably some people are going to worry about that. Don't worry about it. Also, Locust Destroyers, hardwired for destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. If they're on the objective marker, uh, reroll the entire hit roll. That's cool. I think so far I would be looking at Locust Heavy Destroyers being inclusions into the Cryptek Conclave for this. Moving past that, want to start talking about the obvious shit. Plasmancer also has give the unit crits on 5s. So if it works out for the Locust Lord and the Locust Heavy Destroyers, the ones that you're going to be taking that aren't them, Plasmancer. But I do want to remind you of the Overlord with Translocation Shroud. You already knew this, but the Translocation Shroud, each time this model unit advances, don't make an advance roll, instead you get the full 6. In addition, each time a model in that unit makes a normal advance or fallback, it can move horizontally through models and terrain features. Awesome, but I say this to say that if you are giving everything assault, because, hey, it's in your unit, you can go ahead, you can go ahead, move through shit, full 6, assault. Now, there is something with that though, because it should be noted that Immortals Tesla already has assault. Uh, just keep in mind that that's already a thing there, right? Don't worry about that one. It's, you've been able to do that there. But I did want to say now this kind of opens you up to possibly taking Gauss Blasters as the like de facto one. Well, you kind of already were. Tesla hit or miss, especially with 0 AP nowadays. Um, you weren't really relying on the sustained hits too that much. But for the Immortals, Gauss Blaster looks at least tasty enough. They also, each time Malin's unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If the target is on the objective marker, reroll the entire wound roll. So, not just the fact that lethal hits, you can push through some more shit if you want to tackle something that is anti-mounted. Now, the other reason why I wanted to come to the Plasmancer is because Atomic disintegrators. This is probably going to be your best option, but there is a one that you can do for a haha funny, I guess. Atomic disintegrators, 10 points. Put it on a Cryptek in your shooting phase. Each time the bearer's unit is selected to shoot, when doing Techno Sorcerer's augmentations, you can also choose anti-monster 5 up or anti-vehicle 5 up. Cool. Right. So, uh, lethal hits and anti-monster, anti-vehicle, something's taking a lot of wounds from a unit with a fair amount of shots. Then we go on to the Necron Warriors. That neither one of their weapons have assault because Gauss doesn't do assault. Just want to say, remember, their number is Legion. Each time this unit's reanimation protocols activate, you can reroll the dice to see how many wounds are reanimated. So, this is going to come back into down here with Potentiality Siphon. Your opponent's command phase, one Necron unit from your army within range of one or more objective markers. Your reanimation protocols activate. If it's a Cryptek unit, you get an additional wound. Remember, don't forget that the Warriors can reroll it if that's what you're doing. So reroll it and get an additional wound on top of that. That's pretty nice there. Going to more Captain Obvious shit, Technomancers. You're taking them with the Canoptic Wraiths. But the thing that I wanted to say here is that Canoptic Wraiths, Particle Caster, Devastating Wounds, Pistol. This is the shitty backup plan. If you have more faith that you can stick in the wraith to a monster and or vehicle, that's a problem with atomic disintegrators. Their devastating wounds, 5 up, like anti 5 up devastating wounds combo, they do have 3 attacks. And you can get some wounds on something because they have fly, and if they fly over something, Wraith form, each time this unit ends a normal move, you can select one enemy unit it moved over during that move and roll 1d6 for each model in this unit. For each 4-up, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wounds. So, if you want to be haha funny, you can kind of mortal wound the shit out of some monsters or vehicles. Now, is that the better plan? Probably not. Like, absolutely not. But the Canoptic Wraiths are tankier than Warriors and Immortals. So if you think that you have a better chance putting this on the Technomancer and the Canoptic Wraiths, uh, chipping away at damage while you already have lethal hits and shit on Gauss, I wouldn't blame you. That's kind of where I am on that one. But I want to come back to the Technomancer for a second because there's another stratagem that kind of solves the Technomancer issue. So, we all know that the Technomancer, people figured out that the way to get the Wraith unit under control is to precision out the Technomancer. As a reminder, with Animus Curse, one Cryptek model from your army that was destroyed by one of the attacking unit's attacks, you can use the stratagem until the end of the battle. Each time a friendly Necrons model makes an attack that targets the attacking unit, you can reroll the hit roll. So, this is Necrons model. That means that Locust Heavy Destroyer unit that you're taking will get the hit rolls into it as well. And the Cryptek model, Technomancer is a Cryptek. If they do go, oh, I have to get rid of these Technomancer Canoptic Wraith bricks, and they get to precisioning it out, and they go, ha ha ha, I have undone your feel no pain. Then you go, ha ha ha, I am Animus cursing your ass, and now you are kind of not where you want to be. Was it worth it? Did you get through raids with a 5-up feel no pain? Like, they really have to deal with it. And then on top of that, if they do get through the raids with the 5-up feel no pain and the Technomancer attached, like they finally go, alright, I won't precision it out because I'm just going to get Animus cursed earlier. They can get rid of the 5-up feel no pain, but then you could just say, hey, no matter what, if this unit goes down that was giving you an issue, right? Because that's the whole thing. Wraiths, tanky for the most part, right? Well, tanky enough that it's falling less and less by the day, but tanky enough. That's the whole point there, brick. You get rid of this brick, finally, and now I'm putting reroll hits against you. It's pretty good. I'm liking the things that can be done with it as somebody that likes Necrons. Now, as when I bring out my main army, probably gonna like it a lot less, but that's where we are right now. Then I wanted to shed some love on the Royal Warden to just remember that, uh, hey, you can still attach a Cryptek to the unit that Royal Warden has Immortals and Warriors, and if you do that, because you're just like, well, I need more characters, give me more characters, uh, Royal Warden has Adaptive Strategy. This Immortals unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn at which is fell back, and you're giving assaults in this faction like it's candy. You might as well go, well, this unit can advance, fall back, shoot, and charge. Well, because you can't advance and charge, so I guess I should be more accurate and say advance and fall back and shoot. Advance and shoot, fall back shoot, fall back charge. There we go. So, you know, just saying the Royal Warden, you can do that one. Following that act up, we have the Geomancer as just a reminder of the new shit. I wonder how they made the new shit go into here. So it's not necessarily the Geomancer itself per se on this one, but I do want to point out that the Geomancer has something I was talking about, uh, Canoptic Court, where you can give your opponent another very funky situation, still talking about Animus Curse. In your movement phase, you can select one enemy unit within 18 inches of and visible to this model. Till the start of your next movement phase, that enemy unit is pinned. Pinned is -2 to their move and 2 from their charge rolls. This unit also can, when attached to macrosites, gain Scouts 8. And with Obelisk node control, while this model is within range of an objective marker you control, enemy units that are set up on the battlefield from reserves cannot be set up within a foot of this model. So, you push these bad boys up, or this bad boy with its bad boys up, Scouts 8, they make it so that you can't, or the enemy can't set up from reserves. Awesome. They say, hey, I'm looking at you. Uh, guess what? They have a lower move, and if they finally get through all of this shit that the Geomancer is attached to, Animus Curse, right? Now, coming over to the macrosites. The macrosites, the thing that I want to talk about here mainly is the Nanoscarab Projector. Like, don't get me wrong, all this shit still works, but, they're attaching to the Geomancer, who's your Cryptek, we understand. Uh, the macrosites, once per battle round, when a friendly's Necrons unit within 3 inches of the bearer activates its reanimation protocols, can use this ability, +1 wound. Just a reminder, again, Potentiality Siphon. Awesome. Canoptic Tomb Crawlers. The last ones to go with this unit. They also fresh out the box. I mean, they can also go with any other Cryptek model, like unit being led by a Cryptek model. So, you could do that too. But just saying, they have weapon sentinels. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within a foot, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the following: ballistic skill, hit roll, and wound roll. So ignore mods, ignore cover, anti, blah 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 blah. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Oh, and into a unit that might have re-rolling hit rolls of 1 on it, or re-rolling hits on it. So yeah, looks pretty good on that front. And then rounding out you could do it, the Psychomancer. This is the one that I talked about in Canoptic Court, where I was like, how, you know what? I know we've said like the Psychomancer is shit, but this is a pretty damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If you need a 55-point unit, like if you're not taking fucking why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? But if you're not trying to use any nope, this is gonna bother me. I'm immediately blanking while I'm trying to record this. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. if you're not taking any death marks or Ophidian destroyers. Goodness, brain farts in the morning hurt. Tell you, a little bit painful when you get older. 55 points. Psychomancer. It's a Cryptek just to keep the things going. Now they don't have deep strike. I'm not going to tell you like they do or anything like that, but you can still just put them out there to do shit. Or you can still attach them to shit. If you're just like, oh, I have no clue what else to attach. I've used all my Plasmancers and my Chronomancers. What else do I do? Psychomancer here has Nightmare Shroud and the Battle Shock step of your opponent's command phase. If an enemy unit that is below starting strength is within 6 of this model, they got to take a Battle Shock test at -1. That's annoying. And also Harbinger of Despair. Once per turn, at the start of your command, movement, shooting, charge, or fight phase, you can select one enemy unit within 18 inches of this model. They have to take a Battle Shock test at -1. Yeah, so they are at risk at not having stratagems and, well, being Battle Shock overall. So minus whatever points they were doing something with. Now, I'm not saying that you have to toss this out solo dolo willy nilly, but you can. For 55 points, maybe 110. If you want to take 2 of them, you got 2 Animus Curse threats that can score you some points because they have OC, and can possibly take away points from your opponent. Or, if you don't really care about going the Chronomancer route, even though, who am I kidding, you're probably doing that after you run out of Plasmancers, or Geomancers, or Technomancers. You could go with the Psychomancer, maybe just to shake it up maybe take 1 unit with a Psychomancer. Throw it on some Immortals or some Warriors, because you should have those for days. And the final thing, just as a reminder, I highly suggest you remember to take Illuminor Ceres. Will this stick around for a while? I don't know. Like, honestly, I think some people are going to just go, I could use the 165 points somewhere else. But Illuminor Ceres is pretty dope. Moves 8, T8, 2 up save, 4 up pinfall, 9 wounds, 4 up feel no pain. Has some pretty decent weapons. They're like not amazing, but they're good enough. Has Illuminor that, while around other friendly Necrons units, has Lone Op, and Mechanical Augmentation. While a friendly Necron's battle line unit is within 3 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, improve the AP by 1. And each time an attack targets that unit, worsen the AP of that attack by 1. Plus 1 AP, ignores cover, pretty much is AP plus 2 for a lot of cases. So, consider that. That's pretty good. Atomic Energy Manipulator, just if this model destroy one or more models in the fight phase, until the end of battle, you can expand that 3 to 6 to 9 up to 12. So, yeah, Cryptek Conclave. I was sleeping a little bit, but just like the Necrons, I'm awake. I'm woke, if you will. So, if you like the video, like it, got a comment for me, comment, and until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.